For the next 15 days, I want you to step into a quiet revolution within yourself, not a grand declaration to the world, but a calm, steady promise whispered to your own soul. This chapter is your challenge, your test, your awakening. These next 15 days will not require perfection, but they will demand presence. Because transformation doesn't arrive in a sudden storm. It grows in the still, consistent rain of daily effort. Chapter 1. Every journey begins with one moment, a spark, a thought, a whisper that says, "It's time." This is that moment for you. The next 15 days are not a casual experiment. They are a quiet rebellion against everything that has kept you small, distracted, or afraid. This is the chapter where you decide to no longer live on autopilot, to stop waiting for some perfect tomorrow, and to take ownership of the only moment that ever truly belongs to you. Now, the decision you make today is more than a choice. It's a declaration of self-respect. It says, "I will no longer drift, I will direct." You've spent enough time preparing, planning, doubting, or overthinking. Now it's time to move. The decision to begin doesn't require perfect conditions. It only requires courage. Understand this. No one ever feels completely ready, and no great transformation ever began in comfort. Every person who has ever changed their life started exactly where you are now, uncertain, afraid, but determined. So, today, you stop asking, "How long will it take?" and start asking, "How far can I go if I don't give up?" This decision is sacred. It's the invisible line between who you were and who you're becoming. From this moment forward, you are no longer your past. You are your potential. The version of you that's tired, unmotivated, and stuck is not your true self. It's only a reflection of who you were when you forgot your power. The next 15 days are your chance to remember. Decide that from this day on, you will meet life with intention. Every morning, remind yourself that each decision, no matter how small, either strengthens or weakens your future. You are training your will like a muscle, shaping your destiny with the discipline of daily choices. The decision to show up, to be aware, to grow. These are the foundations of transformation. You don't need to know every step ahead. You just need to trust the one you're taking now. Life rewards movement, not hesitation. When you choose to move, the universe rearranges itself to meet you halfway. Doors appear where walls once stood. Strength rises where fear once ruled. The truth is, your breakthrough doesn't require new circumstances. It requires a new commitment. You must decide that you will no longer negotiate with your excuses. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," you push your potential another step away. But when you say, "I'll start now," you collapse the distance between where you are and where you dream to be. The first day is the hardest because it asks you to believe without proof. But that belief is the seed of everything to come. Deciding to begin is not about motivation, it's about identity. You are declaring, "This is who I am now," someone who honors their word, someone who moves with purpose. The old habits will try to pull you back. Your mind will resist change because it craves the familiar, even if the familiar has kept you stuck. That's okay. Resistance is not a sign to stop. It's proof that you're shifting. Each time you push through discomfort, you teach your brain a new pattern. That growth is safe, that progress is possible, that you can trust yourself again. This decision is the first crack in the shell that has held your potential hostage. And once the light enters, it cannot be unseen. You'll begin to feel it, a subtle awareness, a quiet strength that whispers, "I can do this." That whisper is the voice of your higher self, and it will grow louder each day you keep your promise. Today, you don't need to accomplish everything, you only need to begin. Start where you are with what you have. Take one step toward clarity, one step toward discipline, one step toward peace. The decision to start will ripple through every part of your life. Your habits, your thoughts, your relationships, your future. You'll realize that the power to change was never outside you, it was always waiting within. You've carried the strength, the wisdom, and the courage all along. You just needed a reason to use them. Let this be that reason. Let today mark the beginning of your awakening, not a loud or dramatic one, but a steady and sacred one. Because when you decide to take control of your story, everything begins to realign. The energy you give becomes the energy you receive. The focus you keep becomes the future you live. So here you are, standing at the beginning of the next 15 days that could change your life. Not because the days themselves are magical, but because you are. You are the magic. You are the turning point. You are the decision that shifts everything. Breathe deeply, straighten your shoulders, and know this truth. Once a mind expands through a new decision, it never returns to its old limits. The world will not change for you, but the way you see the world will. That is the real victory. So today, take your first step. Decide to rise, to show up, to move forward no matter what. Because this, right here, right now, is where transformation begins. Sehaptr2, your mind is the command center of your entire life, the lens through which you experience the world, and the root from which every decision, emotion, and action grows. The thoughts you think today will shape the reality you walk into tomorrow, and that's why resetting your mind is the most powerful act of transformation you can ever perform. For too long, your thoughts may have run on autopilot, repeating old fears, replaying failures, rehearsing pain, like a song stuck on loop that keeps you anchored in the past. But today, you begin the reset. You start by understanding that your mind is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally when trained with awareness. You must take control of your inner dialogue, for the voice you hear most is your own. Every time you think, "I can't," your body listens. Every time you say, "I'm not enough," your energy contracts. But the moment you choose to feed your mind a new belief, I am capable, I am learning, I am becoming, you begin to rewire the system that governs your reality. The mind doesn't distinguish between truth and imagination. It accepts what you repeatedly tell it. So today, begin speaking truth into your future instead of repeating lies from your past. A mind reset isn't about denying reality. It's about redirecting focus. Most people spend their mental energy worrying about what could go wrong, rehearsing pain before it even arrives. But you are not most people anymore. For the next 15 days, you must become a guardian of your thoughts. Imagine your mind as a garden. Every thought is a seed, and whatever you water will grow. Fear, doubt, and negativity are weeds. They don't need permission to sprout. They only need your attention. But you have the power to uproot them the moment they appear. Replace them with seeds of clarity, hope, and determination. Speak your affirmations aloud, even when they feel unnatural. You are not lying to yourself. You are teaching your mind a new language of strength. Remember, repetition builds belief. The more you remind yourself of your capability, the more your brain begins to believe it. And once your brain believes, your behavior follows. Your mind has patterns, loops of thought built from experience and emotion. To reset them, you must interrupt the loop. The next time your mind says, "You'll fail again," don't argue with it. Observe it, smile at it, and respond with truth. That may have been true before, but now I'm different. This act of awareness breaks the chain of conditioning. The moment you observe your thoughts instead of obeying them, you reclaim your power. You become the master, not the prisoner, of your own mind. The reset is not a one-time act, it's a practice. It requires daily attention. Every morning when you wake, every time your confidence wavers, every moment fear whispers. Train your mind to see opportunity where it once saw obstacle. Train it to find lessons where it once found loss. Train it to ask better questions, not "Why me?" but "What can I learn from this?" Throughout your day, notice what fills your mental space. The media you consume, the conversations you entertain, the words you repeat, they all shape your mindset. Protect your mental environment like sacred ground. Unfollow negativity. Distance yourself from voices that drain your energy. Surround your thoughts with what inspires growth. The more you expose your mind to peace, progress, and purpose, the more it begins to reflect those things back into your reality. Energy flows where attention goes, and your attention is the currency of your destiny. Spend it wisely. The mind reset also requires forgiveness, especially toward yourself. Every time you relive regret, you trap your energy in a moment that no longer exists. The past cannot hurt you unless you invite it in. So release it. Say, I forgive myself for not knowing then what I know now. This act of self-compassion frees your mind to create instead of repeat. When you stop fighting your thoughts and start guiding them, you begin to feel a deep stillness, a clarity that comes from mental discipline. You'll start noticing moments of awareness between thoughts, small pauses of peace that grow with practice. That is your true mind, calm, creative, and powerful. As you continue through these 15 days, understand that your outer world will only change after your inner world does. A mind full of chaos cannot create peace. A mind full of doubt cannot produce confidence. But a mind filled with direction becomes unstoppable. Every successful person you admire has learned the same truth. Mastery begins in the mind. They didn't wait to feel ready. They decided to think differently. You can do the same. Each time you choose focus over distraction, faith over fear, gratitude over complaint, your brain literally rewires itself. You are forming new connections, building new habits, shaping new realities, all through thought. So today, commit to your mental reset. When negative thoughts arise, and they will, don't resist them with anger, replace them with awareness. Speak to yourself with love, not judgment. Direct your focus toward what you want, not what you fear. Your thoughts are not random. They are powerful commands shaping your destiny. Treat them with care. Speak to yourself as someone who is healing, learning, and evolving, because you are. And each time you do, your inner world will grow quieter, your confidence stronger, and your vision clearer. The reset has already begun. You've turned your mind from a cage into a compass. And that compass will lead you toward the life you've always been capable of living. Chapter 3. The way you begin your morning shapes the rhythm of your entire day, and the way you shape your days decides the direction of your life. Every sunrise is an invitation, a quiet golden moment that whispers, you get another chance. But most people rush past that whisper, diving straight into chaos, screens, and noise before their minds even awaken. Today that changes. Today you take control of your mornings, because the first hour after you wake is the foundation of your focus, your peace, and your power. Imagine your mind as a still lake at dawn. Every notification, every worry, every distraction is a stone thrown into it, disturbing its reflection. If you start your day reacting to the world, you lose your center before the day even begins. But if you begin with awareness, intention, and stillness, you align your energy before life's noise arrives. This is the moment where champions, creators, and visionaries separate themselves, not because they are born different, but because they choose to master the morning while others are mastered by it. The morning is not just a time of day, it's a sacred space of creation. When you first open your eyes, your mind is most receptive. It's the soil into which you plant the seeds of your day. If your first thoughts are of gratitude, peace, and purpose, those seeds bloom into productivity and calm. But if your first moments are consumed by stress, fear, or distraction, those energies color everything that follows. So, for the next 15 days, I want you to protect your mornings fiercely. Before reaching for your phone, reach for your breath. Sit up slowly, close your eyes for a moment, and feel the miracle of being alive. Whisper to yourself, I have another chance to grow. Gratitude in the morning creates abundance throughout the day. Create a ritual. It doesn't have to be long, but it must be intentional. Maybe it's 5 minutes of meditation, maybe it's journaling, stretching, or reading something inspiring. What matters is that it connects you to yourself before you connect to the world. When you choose stillness first, your mind learns that you are in control. The world no longer dictates your emotional state. you do. During this time, visualize your day unfolding with purpose. See yourself moving calmly through challenges, staying focused on your goals, speaking with kindness, and carrying quiet confidence. Your mind doesn't distinguish between imagination and experience. The visualization becomes instruction. You're programming your brain for clarity and composure before the day even begins. When you step into your morning routine, move with mindfulness. Drink your water slowly, breathe deeply, and feel the sunlight on your skin if you can. These simple acts reconnect you with the present moment, reminding you that peace is not something you chase, it's something you create through awareness. Don't underestimate the power of these small habits. Every consistent action is a vote for the person you are becoming. The calm, disciplined version of you is built in these early hours. Each day you wake with intention, you strengthen your focus, and that focus ripples into every decision you make. Take time to feed your mind, not just your body. Read a few pages of something that elevates your thinking, wisdom, philosophy, or motivation. What you consume in the morning sets the tone for your thoughts throughout the day. Just as you wouldn't start your day with junk food for your body, don't start it with junk information for your mind. Avoid negativity, gossip, and digital noise. Instead, choose words and ideas that expand your vision, strengthen your spirit, and align you with purpose. Your morning mindset is like the compass of your life. If it points toward chaos, you'll find chaos. If it points toward clarity, you'll find peace. As you move through your morning, speak affirmations with conviction, not robotic repetition. I am grounded. I am capable. I am ready to grow. These statements are not wishes, they are reminders of your inner power. They tune your mind to a frequency of confidence and direction. When challenges arise later in the day, your morning words will echo in your heart, guiding you back to strength. You'll notice that the more control you take over your mornings, the less control the world takes over your emotions. You'll stop reacting and start responding. You'll feel lighter, more focused, more alive. And yes, there will be days when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, distracted, or overwhelmed. Those are the days that matter most. The mornings you conquer resistance are the mornings that shape character. Discipline is built not on convenience, but on consistency. Every time you choose to rise and own your first hour, you remind yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. You become the kind of person who acts on purpose, not on impulse. That identity, once formed, changes everything. By the time the rest of the world wakes up, you'll already have clarity. While others are searching for direction, you'll walk into the day with a calmness that comes from preparation, not luck. And when challenges come, you'll handle them differently. Not because life got easier, but because your mind got stronger. The morning is your training ground for the day ahead. Win it, and you carry that victory into every conversation, every decision, every challenge. Lose it, and you spend the rest of the day trying to catch up to peace. So starting tomorrow, or better yet, starting now, decide that your mornings are yours. Don't give them to distraction, don't give them to anxiety, don't give them away carelessly. Protect them, nurture them, and use them to rise. Because when you learn to control your morning, you don't just control your day, you begin to control your destiny. Chapter 4. Focus is the hidden superpower of the human mind, the bridge between intention and achievement, and the silent force that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. In a world full of noise, distraction, and endless scrolling, focus has become rare. But that's what makes it powerful. The ability to hold your attention on one meaningful thing, while everything else fights for your mind, is what separates success from stagnation, peace from chaos, and clarity from confusion. Most people don't fail because they lack intelligence or opportunity. They fail because their attention is scattered in too many directions. The mind, when unfocused, becomes like a flashlight with weak batteries. It flickers, dim and uncertain, but when focused it becomes a laser, sharp, intense, and unstoppable. Today, you begin the art of focus. It starts by recognizing how much energy you waste chasing distractions. Every time you switch tasks, check your phone, or scroll aimlessly, you fragment your power. Your brain takes time to refocus each time you shift, and those moments accumulate into hours of lost potential. But when you choose to protect your focus, you reclaim your time, your clarity, and your creativity. The art of focus begins with awareness, noticing where your attention goes. Ask yourself throughout the day, what has my mind been feeding on? If it's negativity, gossip, comparison, or worry, then you've given your energy to things that cannot grow you. Focus is like sunlight. Whatever you direct it toward begins to expand. If you focus on your problems, they feel heavier. But if you focus on solutions, possibilities, and progress, they begin to multiply. The mind is obedient to direction. It follows the story you feed it. That's why the first step to mastering focus is deciding what truly matters. You cannot focus on everything, and trying to do so only guarantees mediocrity. So choose one mission, one goal, one vision that aligns with your highest self, and let it become the North Star of your attention. Every day remind yourself, I am not doing everything, I am doing the right things. Once you've chosen your focus, you must protect it. That means designing your environment to support your clarity. Remove clutter, silence notifications, and create sacred spaces for deep work. The environment shapes behavior, and your focus thrives in simplicity. When your space is chaotic, your thoughts mirror it. When your surroundings are intentional, your mind follows suit. During your focused time, turn off distractions completely. The world will not collapse if you disconnect for an hour. In fact, the world will start making more sense when you do. Schedule blocks of time where your only task is the one in front of you. During that time, give it everything. Your energy, your heart, your presence. Even 20 minutes of pure focus is more valuable than hours of half-hearted effort scattered across distractions. But focus is not only external, it's deeply internal. It's about controlling your emotional attention as much as your mental one. When something goes wrong, when someone criticizes you, or when plans don't unfold as you expected, don't lose your focus to frustration. Ask, what can I learn here? What's within my control? The power of focus is not just in concentrating on tasks, but in mastering your response to life. Most people spend their energy on what they cannot change, past mistakes, other people's opinions, or imagined fears. Focused minds know better. They conserve energy for what truly matters, growth, discipline, and creation. And understand this truth, focus requires sacrifice. You cannot be everything to everyone and still live with purpose. You must be willing to disappoint distractions, to say no to comfort, and to choose progress over pleasure. Every no to distraction is a yes to destiny. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Over time, your focus becomes your reputation. People begin to trust your consistency, your clarity, your strength. They'll wonder how you stay calm while others panic, how you stay disciplined when others drift. The answer will be simple. You've trained your focus to serve you, not sabotage you. As you strengthen your focus, you'll notice that time seems to slow down. You become present, fully engaged in whatever you're doing. Whether it's reading, working, or simply being with loved ones, your attention becomes a gift to yourself and to them. You'll start experiencing life with depth instead of distraction. You'll realize that peace isn't found in doing more. It's found in being fully here, fully now. This is the quiet power of a focused mind. It doesn't chase everything, it chooses what matters. But focus is not perfection, it's persistence. There will be days when your mind wanders, when distractions win, when motivation fades. Don't be harsh on yourself. The art of focus is not about never losing attention. It's about bringing it back again and again, each time with more awareness. Each return strengthens the muscle of concentration. Each moment of presence builds mastery. You are teaching your mind to listen to you, not the noise. By mastering focus, you begin mastering your destiny, because everything great in life success, love, creativity, peace requires your full presence. You can't build a masterpiece while checking your phone, you can't find peace while multitasking your emotions, and you can't transform your life while distracted by the opinions of others. So, from this day forward, choose depth over distraction, presence over pressure, purpose over noise. Guard your focus as fiercely as your freedom, because in truth it is your freedom. A focused mind is an unstoppable force, and once you learn to command it, there is nothing in this world you cannot create, achieve, or become. Chapter half. Everything in life is energy, and your energy introduces you before you even speak. It's the invisible frequency that speaks louder than words, shaping how people feel around you, how opportunities respond to you, and how your day unfolds. When your energy is low, nothing seems to flow. Even small tasks feel heavy, conversations feel draining, and life itself feels like it's working against you. But when your energy is high, people respond better, ideas flow easily, and challenges begin to feel like stepping stones instead of walls. The truth is, the world doesn't change, your energy does. That's why learning to shift and protect your energy is one of the greatest skills you can ever master. You are not a victim of your mood or your surroundings. You are the generator of your own frequency. Every thought you think, every emotion you entertain, every environment you step into either fuels or drains your energy. So from this moment forward, your mission is to take conscious control of your vibration, to move from survival energy to creation energy, from reaction to intention, from chaos to calm. Energy begins with awareness. Most people walk through their days unaware of how their energy fluctuates. They wake up tired, complain about the day, absorb negativity, and wonder why life feels heavy. But you are different now, you are awakening. Start noticing how you feel throughout the day. Are you tense, rushed, or distracted? Are you calm, grounded, and open? These states are not random. They are reflections of what you feed your mind and body. The foods you eat, the thoughts you think, the people you spend time with, all of it affects your energy field. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, your spirit becomes heavy. But when you choose gratitude, movement, sunlight, laughter, and purposeful silence, your energy rises effortlessly. So today, make the decision to curate your energy sources carefully. Release what drains you. Seek what restores you. You have the right to protect your peace without explanation. One of the fastest ways to shift your energy is through your breath. Your breath is the remote control of your emotions. It can calm your storm or fuel your strength. When you feel overwhelmed, pause and take 3 deep, slow breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. With each exhale, imagine releasing stress, doubt, and fatigue. With each inhale, imagine pulling in peace, clarity, and light. This simple act resets your nervous system and reminds your mind that you are safe. Energy cannot flow freely in a tense body or a cluttered mind, so start your energy shift by softening. Relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, and remind yourself that you are not in danger, you are in growth. As you move through your day, understand that energy is contagious. The moods of others can easily become your own if you're not conscious. That's why it's essential to maintain energetic boundaries. You can care about people without carrying their pain. You can listen to problems without absorbing them. Learn to be a mirror that reflects peace rather than a sponge that absorbs chaos. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's sacred. You cannot pour light into the world if your own flame is dim. When you keep your vibration high, you become a beacon. Calm, strong, and magnetic, people will feel drawn to your presence, not because of your words, but because of the way your energy feels. Another vital part of this shift is movement. Energy stagnates when you stay still. Walk, stretch, dance, or exercise, not for appearance, but for alignment. Physical movement clears emotional blocks and refreshes your spirit. Even 10 minutes of movement can transform your entire mood. Combine it with music that uplifts you, and your energy will rise like the sun after a long night. Pair that with conscious gratitude. the kind that makes you pause and truly feel the goodness around you. Gratitude is one of the highest frequencies on earth. The more you focus on what's good, the more good energy you attract. It's not a theory, it's vibration. What you focus on expands. To sustain this new energy, you must also release the old, let go of grudges, guilt, and regrets. These are emotional weights that anchor your spirit. You cannot rise while carrying yesterday's burdens. Forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. Each time you forgive, you free up energy that was trapped in pain. That energy becomes available for growth, creativity, and peace. Remember, holding on to anger is like holding your breath. It suffocates your own flow, so breathe again, forgive again, rise again. Finally, understand that energy alignment is a daily practice, not a one-time event. You will have days when your vibration feels low, when life feels heavy, when negativity tries to creep in. That's normal. But the key is to not stay there. Notice it, breathe through it, and return to your power. Each time you shift from fear to calm, from complaint to gratitude, from reaction to intention, you strengthen your energetic resilience. You become less influenced by external noise and more guided by internal peace. That's when you truly start living from your higher self, centered, conscious, and unshakable. When you master your energy, you stop chasing happiness and start radiating it. You become the calm in every storm, the light in every dark room, the quiet strength that doesn't need to prove itself. Your life begins to attract people, opportunities, and experiences that match your elevated vibration. That's not luck, that's alignment. So today, choose your energy with intention. Walk slower, breathe deeper, smile more often, and speak words that uplift. Every moment is an opportunity to reset your frequency. You are not here to survive the day, you are here to shape it. Shift your energy, and your entire world will shift with it. Quietly, powerfully, beautifully. CHER6 discipline is the silent force that turns dreams into reality, the invisible bridge that connects intention to accomplishment. Without discipline, motivation fades, plans crumble, and potential remains trapped within imagination. But with discipline, even the impossible begins to unfold in your favor. Discipline is not about punishment or perfection. It's about consistency. Showing up even when you don't feel like it, staying focused when distractions whisper, and moving forward when comfort calls you to rest. The truth is, discipline is the highest form of self-love, because it means you care enough about your future to act in alignment with it today. Most people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they refuse to do what needs to be done long enough for the results to appear. Success is not about intensity, it's about consistency. Small actions repeated with focus, day after day, until excellence becomes your default state. Discipline is the anchor that keeps you grounded when emotions fluctuate, when life gets hard, when motivation disappears. Anyone can act when they feel inspired, but only the disciplined can act when they don't. Every great person you admire, athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, thinkers, has one thing in common: they mastered themselves before they mastered their craft. They learned to do what others avoid, to push through resistance, to delay gratification for the sake of a bigger reward. Discipline means choosing what you want most over what you want now. It's saying no to distraction so you can say yes to purpose. It's waking up early to create instead of sleeping in for comfort. It's making that healthy choice when your mind tempts you otherwise. It's studying, training, refining, even when no one is watching. Because discipline isn't about impressing the world, it's about honoring your potential. You can't build an extraordinary life on ordinary habits. The way you do small things reflects how you do everything. If you practice discipline in the little things, keeping promises to yourself, maintaining your space, managing your time, you build the strength to conquer the bigger things. The problem is, most people think discipline is about restriction, but in reality, it's about freedom. Freedom from laziness, from excuses, from chaos. When you live without discipline, you live at the mercy of your moods. You become a slave to impulses and temporary feelings. But when you live with discipline, you gain power. The power to direct your life instead of drifting through it. Discipline transforms time into progress. It multiplies your focus, your productivity, and your self-respect. Every time you follow through on what you said you would do, you strengthen your inner integrity. You begin to trust yourself more deeply, and that trust becomes unstoppable momentum. The world opens up for those who keep their promises, especially the promises they make to themselves. The journey of discipline begins with clarity. You must know what you truly want. Vague goals lead to vague effort. When your vision is clear, your actions gain purpose. Write down what matters most to you, your health, your growth, your peace, your success, and commit to habits that support those values. Build a daily routine that aligns with your vision. Wake up at a set time. Feed your mind with positive input. Work on your goals for a focused period each day. Reflect at night. Discipline thrives on structure. Without it, you drift aimlessly. And remember, discipline is built, not born. You don't wake up one morning with unshakable willpower. You cultivate it through repetition, one decision at a time. The more you practice discipline, the easier it becomes. The first step is hard, the second feels heavy, but soon it becomes your rhythm, your natural way of being. There will be days when your mind will scream for comfort, when the bed feels too soft, when the work feels too hard, when your old habits whisper, "Just skip it once." But that's when you must remember, discipline grows in discomfort. Every time you push through resistance, you expand your capacity. Every time you choose consistency over excuses, you rewrite your identity. You stop being someone who trays and become someone who does. Discipline doesn't demand perfection, it demands persistence. You will fall, you will fail, but you will not quit. Each time you stand back up, you reinforce the muscle of resilience. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pride it brings lasts forever. And here's the truth most people overlook: discipline creates momentum, and momentum creates miracles. Once you start showing up consistently, doors begin to open. You start feeling proud, capable, powerful. People notice your focus. Opportunities find you because the universe rewards those who act with commitment. You no longer chase motivation. It begins to chase you. What once felt hard becomes normal, and what once seemed impossible becomes your new standard. You rise higher not through leaps of inspiration, but through steady steps of discipline. So, for the next 15 days, treat discipline like your daily medicine. Wake up and choose it before anything else. Don't wait to feel ready. Act first, feelings will follow. Write, train, read, work, build, reflect. Whatever aligns with your path, do it with discipline. Protect your time like gold. Avoid people and habits that pull you off course. Track your progress. Celebrate your consistency, not just your results. Discipline is the quiet architect of greatness. The ones who master it master life itself. So when your mind says, "Not today," whisper back, "Today, especially today," because this is how you win, not through bursts of passion, but through steady, disciplined effort that compounds over time. Remember, motivation sparks the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. CHKTR7 Your mind is the control center of your entire existence, and what you feed it determines how you feel, act, and live. Yet most people go through life with a cluttered, toxic mind, filled with fears, comparisons, doubts, and noise that drown out clarity and peace. Just as your body needs cleansing from junk food, your mind needs cleansing from junk thoughts. You cannot create a beautiful life from a polluted mind. You cannot feel peace while feeding your brain with chaos. The quality of your life will always mirror the quality of your thoughts. That's why a mind detox is not optional. It's essential. For the next 15 days, your challenge is to declutter your mental space, to let go of thoughts that don't serve your growth, and to create an inner environment where calmness and clarity can thrive. Because when your mind becomes clear, your direction becomes clear too. The first step of a mind detox is awareness. noticing the thoughts that dominate your internal dialogue. Most people live with thousands of repetitive thoughts looping in their heads every day, and sadly, most of them are negative or fear-based. You might hear voices saying, "I'm not enough," "I can't do this," or "nothing ever works out." But those are not truths. They're mental programs installed through years of repetition. Influenced by past pain, external opinions, and cultural conditioning, awareness allows you to separate yourself from those programs. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. Once you recognize that, you take back your power. The second step of mental detox is to challenge the negative narrative. When you catch your mind repeating self-limiting beliefs, pause and question them. Is this absolutely true? Most of the time, you'll realize it's not. Your mind exaggerates fear to keep you safe, but safety and growth rarely coexist. Every time you challenge a limiting belief, you weaken its grip. Replace "I can't" with "I'm learning." Replace "I'm not ready" with "I'm growing into readiness." Replace "This is hard" with "This is how I get stronger." The words you use internally are like seeds. They grow into your reality. Plant wisely. Positive thinking isn't about denying difficulty, it's about believing in your ability to overcome it. When you speak life into your mind, your energy shifts, your focus sharpens, and your reality begins to reflect that strength. Another crucial part of mental detox is reducing the noise around you. In the modern world, your mind is constantly overstimulated, endless notifications, social media, opinions, and news all competing for your attention. Information overload leads to emotional exhaustion. You begin reacting instead of creating, comparing instead of growing. To detox your mind, you must simplify your inputs, spend less time scrolling and more time reflecting. Start your day in silence instead of with a screen. Before bed, disconnect from digital chaos and reconnect with your inner self. Create quiet spaces in your day where your mind can breathe. The more silence you allow, the more wisdom will rise. Great ideas, deep healing, and true peace are born in stillness, not in noise. Forgiveness also plays a major role in cleansing the mind. Resentment, guilt, and regret are like mental toxins that occupy precious space in your consciousness. When you hold on to them, you keep reliving old pain, but forgiveness sets you free. Not because others deserve it, but because you do. Forgive those who hurt you, even if they never apologized. Forgive yourself for mistakes, for not knowing better, for carrying burdens too long. Forgiveness isn't weakness, it's liberation. Each time you forgive, you reclaim a piece of your energy that was trapped in the past. That energy can now fuel your present growth. Gratitude is another cleansing force for the mind. It rewires your brain from lack to abundance, from complaint to appreciation. Every morning, list 3 things you are genuinely thankful for. Not big flashy things, but simple blessings: your breath, your body, your peace, your progress. Gratitude redirects your focus from what's missing to what's present. It's impossible to feel anxious and grateful at the same time. Gratitude detoxes your thoughts by replacing resistance with acceptance, fear with faith, and impatience with presence. The more you practice it, the more joy naturally flows through your days. Along with mental clarity, you must also be intentional about the people and environments you allow into your mental space. Energy is contagious. Spend too much time with negative people, and you'll start thinking like them. Surround yourself with dreamers, learners, and doers, people who inspire your highest potential. Fill your environment with things that uplift you, books that feed your soul, music that heals, and nature that grounds you. Your surroundings shape your mindset, and your mindset shapes your destiny. Meditation and journaling are 2 powerful tools to maintain mental hygiene. Meditation teaches you to observe your thoughts without judgment, to watch them come and go like clouds passing in the sky. The more you practice, the quieter your inner noise becomes. Journaling helps you empty your mind onto paper, transforming clutter into clarity. When you write, you release what you no longer need to carry. It's like sweeping the floors of your inner world. As you go through this 15-day transformation, remember that detoxing your mind isn't about forcing positivity, it's about choosing peace. It's about training your mind to focus on what empowers you instead of what drains you. The goal isn't to silence every thought, it's to rise above them. When your mind becomes clean, you start hearing the whispers of intuition, the quiet guidance of your higher self. Decisions become easier, emotions become lighter, and your path becomes visible. You realize that the chaos you once blamed on the world was often just the noise inside your mind. When that noise fades, you see life as it truly is: simple, beautiful, and full of potential. So begin your mind detox today. Observe your thoughts like clouds, release the heavy ones, and choose to breathe deeply in every moment. Replace negativity with gratitude, judgment with curiosity, and fear with understanding. Protect your mental space like it's sacred, because it is. When your mind is clear, your heart opens. When your heart opens, your energy rises. And when your energy rises, everything in your life begins to align. A peaceful mind is not a gift, it's a daily practice. Detox your thoughts and watch your world transform from within. Chapter confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build day by day through choices, experiences, and the way you speak to yourself when no one is listening. Self-confidence is the foundation upon which every form of success, happiness, and growth is built. Without it, even the most talented person can hesitate, doubt, and fall short of their potential. With it, even an ordinary individual can achieve extraordinary things. True confidence is not arrogance, and it's not pretending to be better than others. It's the calm, grounded belief that you are capable, worthy, and ready to face whatever life brings your way. It's the energy of quiet assurance, not loud performance. The art of self-confidence begins in the mind. It starts when you stop waiting for external validation and begin validating yourself. Every time you depend on the approval of others to feel worthy, you hand your power away. But when you decide that your value is inherent, not dependent on anyone's opinion, you become unstoppable. You begin to walk, speak, and live with a different rhythm. The rhythm of someone who knows their worth. Building self-confidence requires one crucial thing: trust in yourself. Confidence grows when you keep promises to yourself. Every time you say you'll do something and follow through, you strengthen that trust. But when you break those promises, your inner belief weakens. So to grow confident, start small but stay consistent. Wake up when you say you will. Finish what you start. Speak truthfully even when it's uncomfortable. Each small act of integrity builds a foundation of trust that becomes unshakable over time. The person who can rely on themselves has nothing to fear from the world. Confidence isn't built by wishing, it's built by doing. Every time you take action, even imperfect action, you reinforce the message that you are capable. Action destroys doubt. It replaces "what if I can't" with "I just did." One of the greatest enemies of confidence is comparison. When you constantly measure yourself against others, you'll always find someone ahead of you in one area or another, and that habit will drain your power. Confidence doesn't come from being the best. It comes from being at peace with who you are and focused on who you're becoming. Your journey is your own, uniquely shaped for your lessons, timing, and growth. Comparing your Chapter 2 to someone else's Chapter 20 is unfair to yourself. Instead of comparison, practice inspiration. Look at others' success not as competition, but as proof of what's possible. Let their light remind you that you have your own to shine. The truth is, no one else can offer what you can. There's a kind of power, voice, and presence that only you bring into this world. When you realize that, confidence stops being something you chase and becomes something you embody. Another key to self-confidence is mastering your self-talk. The words you whisper to yourself daily shape your identity. If you constantly criticize, doubt, or belittle yourself, your confidence will crumble no matter how many achievements you collect. But when you start speaking to yourself with compassion and encouragement, "I can handle this. I'm learning. I'm growing stronger. Your inner power expands. Positive self-talk is not delusion, it's direction. It reprograms your subconscious mind to believe in your potential. So, whenever self-doubt creeps in, respond with truth. I've overcome before, and I can again. Confidence is a dialogue between you and your higher self, and you get to choose which voice wins. Physical posture also affects confidence more than most people realize. When you stand tall, breathe deeply, and move with intention, your mind follows your body's lead. The body and mind are deeply connected. Try this simple shift: shoulders back, chin up, eyes forward. It tells your subconscious that you are safe, capable, and ready. You don't have to feel confident to act confidently. Act confident first, and the feeling will follow. Confidence is a habit, not a mood. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. Over time, it turns into your second nature. It's also important to remember that confidence doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you move forward despite it. Courage and confidence walk hand in hand. Every confident person you admire still feels fear. They've just learned not to let it stop them. Confidence is the decision to show up even when your hands shake, your voice trembles, and your heart races. The moment you step into action, fear begins to fade because fear feeds on hesitation. The faster you act, the weaker it becomes. And every time you do something that once scared you, you expand your comfort zone. That's how confidence grows. Surround yourself with energy that builds you up. People who encourage your dreams, not those who mock or minimize them. Environment matters. It can either lift your confidence or crush it. Spend time with people who challenge you to grow, but also remind you of your worth. If you don't have such people yet, become that person for yourself. Be your own encourager, your own motivator, your own biggest supporter. Eventually, that energy will attract the right people into your life, those who reflect the confidence you've built within. Lastly, confidence is not about being perfect, it's about being authentic. The most magnetic people are not flawless, they are real. They embrace their imperfections and own their stories. When you stop hiding who you are, you free yourself from the fear of judgment. Authenticity is power because it cannot be faked. When you walk in truth, your energy becomes magnetic, your presence becomes calm, and your words carry weight. That's true confidence, rooted in self-awareness, strengthened by self-respect, and guided by self-love. So for the next 15 days, commit to practicing the art of confidence. Speak kindly to yourself, take bold action, keep promises, and stop comparing your light to others. Every small act of courage, every choice to believe in yourself, every step taken despite fear, all of it adds up. Confidence isn't built overnight, but with daily effort it becomes a lifelong companion. Believe this: you are enough as you are, and you are capable of becoming even more. The moment you stop doubting your worth and start acting from belief, the world begins to respond differently. Life doesn't get easier. You just get stronger, bolder, and more confident in who you truly are. Saptianine gratitude is more than a polite thank you. It is a way of seeing the world that transforms everything you touch. It's not about ignoring what's wrong in your life, but about focusing so deeply on what's right that the wrong begins to lose its power over you. Gratitude is a mindset, a vibration, a spiritual lens that turns ordinary moments into miracles and challenges into lessons. When you live in gratitude, you stop chasing happiness and start realizing that it's been with you all along. The truth is, most people wait for something big to happen before they feel grateful. They want success, money, or recognition first. But those who truly understand the power of gratitude know that it must come first. You don't get blessings because you're happy. You become happy because you're grateful. Gratitude doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you attract, how you act, and how life responds to you. It raises your vibration and tunes your energy into abundance, opening doors that force alone could never open. Every time you express genuine gratitude, you are telling the universe, I am ready for more of this. and the universe listens. Practicing gratitude begins with awareness, noticing what you already have instead of what you lack. Each morning when you open your eyes, you've been given another chance, another 24 hours to live, to grow, to love, to try again. That alone is a miracle, but we often take these moments for granted. The air you breathe, the food you eat, the people who care for you, the lessons you've learned, all of it is worthy of appreciation. Gratitude doesn't require a perfect life, it requires a present mind. It's easy to complain when things don't go your way, but gratitude teaches you to look deeper, to see that even in hard times, something valuable is happening beneath the surface. Every difficulty carries a hidden gift: patience, strength, wisdom, resilience. Gratitude helps you see those gifts even when they're wrapped in discomfort. To make gratitude a daily habit, start by writing down 3 things you are grateful for every day. They don't have to be grand. Sometimes it's a good meal, a kind word, or the sound of rain. The power lies not in the size of the blessing, but in the depth of your appreciation. When you consciously acknowledge what's good, your focus shifts from scarcity to abundance. You begin to realize that you are surrounded by more than you thought. And where attention goes, energy flows. The more you focus on what's good, the more good grows in your life. Gratitude rewires your brain to notice positivity automatically. Over time, you'll catch yourself being thankful for the smallest details: the morning sunlight, the laughter of a friend, the simple peace of being alive. That's when you know gratitude has become a part of you. But gratitude isn't just something you feel. It's something you express. When you appreciate people, tell them. Say thank you with sincerity, not habit. Look them in the eye and let them feel that you truly mean it. A few heartfelt words can heal wounds, strengthen relationships, and create ripples of kindness that extend far beyond your awareness. Gratitude is contagious. When you practice it openly, you inspire others to do the same. And in a world full of complaints and criticism, being a person of gratitude makes you stand out as a source of light. Express gratitude not only for the people who help you, but also for those who challenge you. They are the ones who push you toward growth, who force you to find your strength, who awaken your inner power. Another level of gratitude is learning to be thankful in advance, to thank life for blessings that haven't arrived yet. This isn't delusion, it's alignment. It's declaring faith before proof. When you say, "I'm thankful for the opportunities coming my way," or "I'm grateful for the healing happening in my life," you are tuning your mind to expectation instead of doubt. Gratitude and faith walk together. They both say, "I trust that good things are unfolding, even if I can't see them yet." And that trust changes everything. It keeps you calm in uncertainty, patient in waiting, and hopeful in hardship. Life always mirrors your inner state, so when gratitude becomes your default, abundance becomes your reality. Of course, there will be days when gratitude feels hard, when pain, loss, or stress clouds your vision. On those days, don't force happiness. Simply find one thing, however small, to hold on to. Maybe it's your breath, your strength to endure, or the lesson hidden within the struggle. Gratitude doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means refusing to let what's wrong blind you to what's right. Even in the darkest seasons, there is always a flicker of light, and focusing on that light helps it grow. Gratitude turns pain into purpose, chaos into clarity, and endings into beginnings. To elevate your gratitude practice, combine it with mindfulness. Throughout your day, pause and notice moments of beauty. A stranger's smile, a breeze against your face, a moment of laughter. Feel the emotion fully and silently say, "Thank you." This simple awareness anchors you in the present and connects you to the rhythm of life. Gratitude is not just a thought, it's a feeling. Feel it deeply, let it fill your heart, and you'll notice how peace naturally follows. Gratitude doesn't just make you happier, it makes you healthier, calmer, and more magnetic to positivity. Science even confirms that grateful people sleep better, stress less, and live longer. because gratitude is medicine for the soul. So for the next 15 days, commit to living in gratitude. Start and end your days with it. Write it, speak it, feel it, live it. When you wake up, whisper, "Thank you," before your feet even touch the floor. When you face challenges, ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" When something good happens, pause and savor it instead of rushing to the next thing. Gratitude is not about having more. It's about seeing more. And when you see more, you live more fully. The moment you start appreciating your life starts appreciating you. Gratitude is not just a practice, it's a lifestyle, a way of being that transforms every ordinary day into something extraordinary. Because in truth, a grateful heart doesn't wait for a perfect life, it creates one. Shiat 10 Mindfulness is the art of being fully present, aware of where you are, what you're doing, and what you're feeling, without being overwhelmed or distracted by the noise of your thoughts. In a world that constantly pulls our attention in 1,000 directions, mindfulness becomes not just a practice, but a necessity for peace. It means slowing down enough to actually live your life instead of merely rushing through it. Too often, we spend our days lost in the past or worrying about the future, missing the only moment that truly exists, the now. Mindfulness brings you back home to yourself, grounding you in the present moment, where clarity, calmness, and strength reside. It teaches you to observe rather than react, to respond instead of impulsively acting out of fear or habit. Every great change begins with awareness, and mindfulness is that awareness. The bridge between chaos and calm. When you learn to observe your thoughts without judging them, you begin to realize that you are not your thoughts, you are the awareness behind them. That realization alone is liberation. The practice of mindfulness starts with something as simple as breathing. Your breath is a constant companion, a tool that can anchor you whenever your mind begins to wander. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and feel it move through your body, the rise and fall of your chest, the expansion of your lungs, the rhythm of life within you. In that simple act, you connect to the present. You silence the noise. Breathing mindfully helps regulate your emotions, calm your nervous system, and bring you back to balance. When you pay attention to your breath, you begin to see how often you live unconsciously, eating without tasting, walking without seeing, talking without listening. Mindfulness invites you to wake up, to live each moment as if it were both the first and the last. But mindfulness isn't just about meditation or stillness. It's about awareness in action. It's the way you wash dishes, the way you listen to someone speak, the way you walk down the street. It's about being there, fully engaged, instead of living on autopilot. When you eat, really taste the food. When you talk to someone, really hear their words. When you work, give your full attention to what's in front of you. This level of presence transforms ordinary experiences into sacred moments. You start to notice beauty everywhere, in the sunlight filtering through your window, in the sound of laughter, in the feeling of water on your hands. Life becomes richer because you are actually living it. Mindfulness also teaches emotional intelligence, the ability to observe your feelings without being controlled by them. When anger arises, mindfulness helps you pause and see it for what it is, a temporary emotion, not your identity. When sadness comes, you learn to sit with it instead of escaping it, to listen to what it's trying to teach you. Every emotion carries a message, and mindfulness helps you translate it. You begin to see that peace isn't about avoiding discomfort, but about meeting it with awareness. This awareness dissolves emotional reactivity, helping you make wiser choices instead of impulsive ones. Through mindfulness, your inner world becomes more balanced, and that balance reflects in your outer life, in your relationships, your work, and your decisions. Science now confirms what ancient wisdom has always known: mindfulness changes the brain. Regular mindfulness practice increases gray matter in areas linked to learning, memory, empathy, and emotional regulation. It lowers stress hormones, improves concentration, and even strengthens the immune system. But beyond the science, Mindfulness is a spiritual awakening. It reconnects you to the essence of life. It reminds you that happiness doesn't come from having more, but from being more aware of what you already have. When you live mindfully, gratitude flows naturally because you start to notice the miracles hidden in plain sight. To integrate mindfulness into your daily routine, you don't need hours of meditation. You just need moments of awareness. Begin your day by noticing your breath before you reach for your phone. As you walk, feel your feet touch the ground. As you eat, slow down and savor each bite. Whenever stress hits, pause and ask, "What's happening right now?" That question brings you back to the present. You can even set gentle reminders throughout the day to check in with yourself, to breathe, to relax your shoulders, to smile. Over time, these small pauses create a deep sense of peace and control. One of the most powerful aspects of mindfulness is that it breaks the cycle of overthinking. Most of our suffering doesn't come from events themselves, but from the stories we tell ourselves about them. The mind loves to analyze, compare, and predict, but mindfulness helps you step back and watch those thoughts without attachment. You begin to see thoughts as passing clouds in the vast sky of awareness, temporary, fleeting, and powerless unless you feed them. This detachment frees you from anxiety and regret. It teaches you to live lightly, to let go, and to trust the flow of life. When you live in the moment, the weight of the past and the fear of the future lose their grip on you. Mindfulness also deepens your connection with others. When you are truly present with someone, not thinking about what to say next, not distracted by your phone, you create space for genuine connection. People can feel when you're really there. Your presence becomes a gift, one that heals and nurtures relationships. In a distracted world, mindful attention is rare, and that makes it powerful. The more present you are with others, the more peaceful and fulfilling your interactions become. Ultimately, mindfulness is a journey of returning to yourself, to your body, to this very moment. It's realizing that you don't have to chase peace, because peace is already here, waiting beneath the noise. The mind will always try to wander, to plan, to worry, but each time you bring it back, you strengthen your awareness. You reclaim your power. With mindfulness, you stop being a victim of your thoughts and become the master of them. You begin to experience life with childlike wonder again, noticing that every moment, even the simplest one, holds beauty, meaning, and presence. When mindfulness becomes your way of life, every breath becomes a prayer, every step a meditation, and every day an opportunity to live fully awake. Septica 11. Self-discipline is the invisible force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. It is the quiet, consistent power that transforms intentions into actions and actions into results. In this chapter, we step into the heart of mastery, the ability to govern oneself, to choose growth over comfort, and to persist when every part of you wants to stop. Discipline is not about punishment or restriction. It is the highest form of self-respect. It means saying, "I am worthy of my goals, and I will not betray them for temporary pleasure." Every great achievement, whether in art, business, or personal growth, is born from moments of discipline. Those quiet decisions you make when no one is watching. The person who learns to master their impulses, their emotions, and their time becomes unstoppable, because discipline is freedom disguised as effort. It frees you from the control of laziness, distraction, and regret. It gives you the power to live intentionally rather than reactively. Discipline begins with clarity. You cannot stay consistent with what you do not truly want. To build discipline, you must first define your purpose. What are you fighting for? What vision fuels your days? What version of yourself do you wish to become? Once you know your why, your how becomes easier to endure. Without purpose, discipline feels like punishment, but with purpose, it becomes devotion. Each time you act with discipline, you align yourself with your higher self, the version of you who knows that comfort never built greatness. Discipline is about choosing your future over your feelings, because feelings are fleeting, but your future is permanent. You will not always feel motivated, but you can always choose to act. Motivation fades, discipline remains. It's the bridge that carries you across the days when inspiration runs dry. To cultivate self-discipline, you must first take control of your environment. Your surroundings either support your goals or sabotage them. Remove temptations that lead you off your path and create conditions that make discipline easier. If you're trying to eat healthy, keep healthy food within reach. If you're trying to stay focused, remove distractions from your workspace. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself through willpower alone. It's about designing your life to make success natural. Make your environment a reflection of your goals. Structure is not the enemy of freedom. It is the foundation of it. A well-structured life gives you clarity and peace, freeing your mind from the chaos of constant decision-making. Next comes the mastery of time, perhaps the greatest test of discipline. Every wasted moment is a fragment of your life that never returns. Learn to treat your time as sacred currency. Spend it wisely, invest it in growth, and protect it fiercely from meaningless distractions. Create routines that anchor your day, because discipline thrives on rhythm. Wake up at a consistent hour, dedicate blocks of time for deep work, rest intentionally, and end your day with reflection. When you organize your time, your life follows. Remember, success is not built in grand moments of brilliance, but in quiet, consistent repetition. Discipline is the art of doing what must be done even when you don't feel like it. Yet true discipline also requires compassion. Too many people confuse discipline with self-cruelty, punishing themselves for every slip or setback. But discipline rooted in self-hate is unsustainable. Real discipline grows from love, the love of who you are becoming. When you fail, don't quit. Study your failure. Ask, what distracted me? What triggered my lapse? Then return to your path with greater awareness. Forgiveness is a part of discipline, because without it, guilt turns into paralysis. Progress requires patience. You cannot rush mastery any more than you can rush the sunrise. Stay steady, stay gentle, and keep moving forward. The disciplined person understands that small habits compound into massive change. You do not need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start with one promise and keep it. Wake up 5 minutes earlier, exercise for 10 minutes, read 1 page. Over time, those tiny commitments build integrity within you, the kind of trust that says, I keep my word. And when you keep your word to yourself, your confidence grows. The world begins to bend in your favor because you have become dependable, focused, and strong. Discipline is not about being rigid or robotic. It's about being consistent with what truly matters. When you live with discipline, life stops feeling chaotic. You begin to move through your days with purpose. Your mind quiets because you no longer chase distractions or make endless decisions. Discipline gives you energy because every act of control strengthens your willpower. And though others might see your structured life as sacrifice, you know the truth, it's liberation. The person without discipline is a slave to their impulses, but the disciplined person is the master of their destiny. To truly embody self-discipline, you must also embrace delayed gratification, the art of waiting for the reward. We live in a world addicted to instant results, where everything is available at a click, a swipe, or a tap. But nothing worth having is instant. The stronger your ability to delay gratification, the more power you hold over your life. Each time you resist a short-term temptation, you feed your long-term success. You strengthen your mental muscle, and that strength will serve you in every area of your life. In the end, discipline is not about perfection, it's about persistence. You will have days of weakness, moments of distraction, and times when your old habits call you back. But if you rise each time, if you recommit again and again, discipline becomes who you are, not something you do. It becomes your nature. You begin to realize that success was never about talent or luck, but about the relentless consistency of disciplined effort. The road may be long and quiet, but at the end of it stands freedom, freedom from chaos, from regret, from self-doubt. Discipline is the path to peace, the unseen engine behind every extraordinary life, and once you master it, there is nothing in this world you cannot create. Love positive thinking is not about ignoring reality or pretending that pain does not exist. It is about training your mind to focus on possibility rather than limitation, on solutions rather than problems. It is the conscious choice to believe that no matter what happens, you have the strength to rise, to learn, and to move forward. The power of positive thinking lies in perception, in understanding that while you cannot always control what happens around you, you can always control how you respond within. Every great transformation begins in the mind, for your thoughts shape your emotions shape your actions, and your actions shape your destiny. When you fill your mind with negativity, fear, and self-doubt, you build walls around your potential, but when you nurture thoughts of faith, gratitude, and courage, you unlock the doors of limitless possibility. The mind is a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds. Whatever you plant will grow. If you plant doubt, you will harvest defeat. If you plant hope, you will reap success. The first step toward positive thinking is awareness. You must begin to notice the quality of your thoughts. Pay attention to the inner voice that narrates your life. Is it kind or cruel, encouraging or discouraging? Most people live unaware of how much their internal dialogue controls their happiness. Your words, whether spoken aloud or whispered in silence, are powerful vibrations shaping your reality. Every time you say, "I can't," you close a door. Every time you say, "I will," you open one. Positive thinking is the art of choosing empowering language, both internally and externally. It doesn't mean lying to yourself. It means replacing the language of limitation with the language of possibility. Instead of saying, "This is too hard," say, "This will challenge me to grow." Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "I learned." In doing so, you begin to reshape your mental world, and soon your external world will reflect that inner shift. Positive thinking also means understanding that setbacks are not signs of defeat, but lessons in disguise. Every challenge carries within it the seed of growth. When you adopt a positive mindset, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" This shift in perspective changes everything. Life will never be free of struggle, but it can be free of hopelessness. When you see adversity as an opportunity to strengthen your mind, your heart, and your resilience, no obstacle can destroy you. It can only refine you. The greatest leaders, innovators, and dreamers were not people who never failed. They were people who refused to let failure define them. Their secret was not luck or talent, but attitude, an unwavering belief that no matter how dark the night, the dawn will come. To practice positive thinking, you must also master gratitude. Gratitude transforms your focus from what's missing to what's present, from what's wrong to what's right. It shifts your energy instantly. Even in the hardest times, there is always something to be grateful for. The breath in your lungs, the lessons you've learned, the people who care for you, or simply the chance to begin again. When you start your day with gratitude, you prime your mind for joy. When you end it with gratitude, you invite peace into your heart. Gratitude and positive thinking are twin flames. One fuels the other. Together, they create a powerful mindset that attracts abundance and resilience. Another essential part of positive thinking is surrounding yourself with uplifting energy. The people you spend time with shape your thoughts more than you realize. Energy is contagious. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, you will absorb it. But if you surround yourself with people who see possibility, who inspire, who encourage, you will begin to rise to their frequency. Protect your peace fiercely. You owe it to your future self to walk away from conversations, relationships, and environments that dim your light. Seek out those who remind you of your strength, who challenge you to grow, and who believe in your dreams even when you doubt them. Positive thinking also requires faith, not blind optimism, but the deep inner knowing that everything unfolds as it should. It means trusting that even when you cannot see the full path, Each step is leading you somewhere meaningful. Faith and positivity work hand in hand. Where logic ends, faith begins. In moments of uncertainty, choose to believe in your ability to adapt, to learn, and to endure. The universe often tests you not to punish you, but to prepare you for what's next. What seems like delay or rejection may actually be redirection towards something greater. A positive thinker knows that life is happening for them, not of them. To strengthen your positive mindset, practice visualization. Imagine the life you desire as if it already exists. See it in your mind, feel it in your heart, and believe it in your soul. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between imagination and reality. Whatever you repeatedly visualize, it begins to create. Athletes, performers, and leaders all use visualization as a tool of focus and confidence. When you picture yourself succeeding, your mind begins to align your actions with that image. This is not magic, it is psychology. Your beliefs shape your behavior, and your behavior shapes your outcomes. It's also important to be patient with yourself. Positive thinking doesn't mean you'll never feel sadness, anger, or fear. It means you won't let those emotions control you. You can acknowledge negativity without surrendering to it. When doubt creeps in, gently redirect your focus. Ask yourself, what's good in this moment? Or, what can I learn from this? Over time, this practice rewires your brain to see the light even in the darkest situations. Positivity is not a switch you flip. It's a muscle you strengthen daily through repetition, awareness, and choice. In the end, positive thinking is more than just a mindset. It's a way of living, a way of being. It transforms not only how you see the world, but how the world responds to you. When you radiate positivity, you attract people, opportunities, and experiences that match that energy. You become magnetic, not because life suddenly becomes easy, but because your spirit becomes unbreakable. Every thought you think is a brushstroke painting the masterpiece of your destiny. Choose to paint it with faith, gratitude, and hope. Because the truth is simple, when you master the art of positive thinking, you don't just change your thoughts, you change your entire life. CXR 13 Consistency is the hidden power behind every great achievement, the quiet rhythm that builds empires, transforms character, and shapes destiny. It is not the bursts of effort that change your life, but the small, steady steps taken every single day, even when no one is watching, even when motivation fades, and even when results are not yet visible. Consistency is the bridge between intention and accomplishment. It is what turns an idea into a reality. Anyone can start something with excitement and passion, but very few continue when that initial spark fades. The truth is, success doesn't belong to the most talented, the most intelligent, or the most privileged. It belongs to those who keep showing up. When you show up consistently, you build momentum, and momentum is what makes ordinary people unstoppable. Every time you follow through on your word, you strengthen your identity as someone who can be trusted, not just by others, but by yourself. This inner trust is the foundation of true confidence. To understand consistency, you must first let go of perfection. Perfection kills progress. The person who waits for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect feeling never gets started. Consistency means doing what you can, with what you have, where you are, and doing it again tomorrow. It's not about flawless performance, it's about persistent effort. You will stumble, you will get tired, and there will be days when you fall short. But consistency means rising again, realigning, and continuing your journey. The most successful people in the world are not those who never fail, but those who never quit. They understand that mastery is built not in grand leaps, but in quiet repetition. A writer becomes great not by writing one brilliant story, but by writing every day. A musician becomes skilled not by a single performance, but through hours of practice. A leader earns respect not through one act of courage, but through consistent integrity over time. Consistency requires discipline, but it also requires vision. You must know why you are showing up every day. Without purpose, consistency becomes exhausting. With purpose, it becomes empowering. When you remind yourself of your long-term goal, even the smallest effort gains meaning. Every repetition, every step, every act of commitment becomes a seed planted in the garden of your dreams. You may not see results right away, and that's where most people give up. But growth is happening beneath the surface. Like a seed buried underground, your efforts are quietly taking root. One day, without warning, the results will bloom, and everyone will call it sudden success, not realizing it was built by months or years of unseen consistency. Consistency also teaches patience, the rarest virtue in a world addicted to instant results. We want everything now: quick money, fast success. But real growth takes time. The universe moves at the speed of persistence, not impatience. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to check its progress. You water it, nurture it, and trust the process. The same principle applies to your goals. Consistency is an act of faith. It means believing that your daily efforts, no matter how small, even if that change is invisible for now, each day you stay consistent, you are building something powerful: momentum, mastery, and identity. You're becoming the kind of person who finishes what they start, and that kind of person can achieve anything. But consistency is not about working endlessly without rest. True consistency includes balance. It means knowing when to push and when to pause, when to create and when to recover. Burnout is not consistency, it's imbalance. The key is sustainability. Create habits that you can maintain for the long term. It's better to do a little every day than to overexert yourself and quit. If you want to build strength, start with one workout and build gradually. If you want to improve your mindset, read one page daily. If you want to change your life, focus on one consistent action that aligns with your purpose. Small steps, repeated daily, create big transformations. The magic is not in intensity, but in endurance. Consistency also sharpens your character. It trains your mind to resist distractions and your heart to stay loyal to what matters. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build integrity. You begin to trust yourself more deeply, and that trust becomes the source of your power. You stop seeking validation from others because your confidence comes from your consistency. When you are consistent, you become reliable, not just in your work, but in your relationships, your mindset, and your habits. You start to embody the values you once admired from afar. Consistency transforms you from a dreamer into a doer, from a wanderer into a builder. Another truth about consistency is that it compounds. Just as compound interest grows wealth over time, consistent effort compounds results in every area of life. Every small action you repeat becomes stronger through accumulation. Reading 10 pages a day becomes hundreds of books over the years. Saving a little money daily becomes financial security. Practicing gratitude daily creates a peaceful, resilient mindset. Success doesn't arrive suddenly, it builds quietly, one consistent day at a time. That's why the most powerful people in the world respect the process more than the prize. They know that real success is not the result of one extraordinary act, but of countless ordinary ones done faithfully. To master consistency, you must also learn forgiveness. You will miss days, you will lose motivation, you will make mistakes. But one bad day does not erase all your progress. Start again immediately. Never let one missed moment turn into a pattern of giving up. Progress is not lost in failure, it's lost in quitting. The secret to lifelong consistency is to fall and rise quickly. As long as you get up one more time than you fall, you are still winning. In the end, consistency is not a technique, it's a lifestyle, a declaration that you are committed to your growth, no matter how long it takes. It's the daily choice to keep showing up for yourself and your dreams, even when no one applauds, even when no one notices. Over time, consistency becomes your identity, and your life begins to transform in ways that once seemed impossible. Because in the end, success doesn't belong to the strongest or the fastest, it belongs to the one who never stops moving forward. So be consistent, not perfect, steady, not hurried, faithful, not flawless. Your future self will thank you for every single step you took. Every day you stayed the course, every moment you refused to give up, because consistency is not just what you do, it's who you become. CHTR 14 change is the one constant in life, the force that shapes every season of our existence, yet it is often the very thing we resist the most. We cling to what is familiar because it feels safe, even when it no longer serves us, but real growth begins the moment we learn to embrace change rather than fear it. To grow means to evolve, to shed old patterns, to outgrow comfort zones, and to step into the unknown with faith instead of fear. Change is not an enemy to fight. It is a teacher guiding us toward the next version of ourselves. Every ending hides a new beginning, every challenge holds a lesson, and every transformation begins with a moment of discomfort. When you stop running from change and start flowing with it, you discover that life is not something happening to you, but something happening for you. Growth is the natural rhythm of life. Everything that lives grows, and everything that grows changes. The trees shed their leaves, the seasons shift, and the ocean's tides rise and fall, yet all remain part of a greater balance. You too are part of that balance, designed to evolve continuously. Embracing change begins with acceptance. The more you resist, the more you suffer, because resistance is a fight against reality. Acceptance doesn't mean you like everything that happens. It means you choose to see things as they are instead of wishing they were different. It is from acceptance that clarity and strength are born. Once you accept a situation, you can choose your response. Every moment of change offers two choices. You can resist and remain stuck, or you can adapt and rise stronger. Growth always demands surrender, surrendering control, surrendering certainty, surrendering who you once were. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you make space for what's meant for you. That's the paradox of life. Holding on keeps you safe, but letting go sets you free. True growth also requires courage, the courage to face the unknown and trust yourself enough to navigate it. Every change, whether chosen or forced, carries uncertainty, but within that uncertainty lies the possibility of transformation. Think of a seed buried in darkness before it becomes a tree, or a caterpillar dissolving in its cocoon before emerging as a butterfly. Growth is rarely comfortable, because it requires breaking through what once felt secure. Yet those who have the courage to step into discomfort discover that the unknown is not chaos. It is creation in progress. Change does not destroy you, it reveals you. It strips away what is false so that your true strength, purpose, and resilience can emerge. Every time you face change with courage, you become more aligned with your authentic self. But growth doesn't just happen through external change, it begins within. You must be willing to challenge your beliefs, your habits, and your old stories about who you are. Many people fear change because they have tied their identity to the past, to old versions of themselves that no longer reflect their truth. Growth means questioning those old definitions and giving yourself permission to evolve beyond them. You are not the mistakes you've made, the pain you've felt, or the labels others have given you. You are a work in progress, constantly unfolding. Each experience, good or bad, has been preparing you for who you are becoming. When you see change as an opportunity for self-expansion rather than loss, every challenge becomes a tool for evolution. To truly embrace growth, you must cultivate adaptability, the ability to adjust your mindset and your actions in response to life's shifts. Adaptability is not weakness, it's wisdom. It means staying rooted in purpose while being flexible in approach. Just as a tree bends in the wind but never breaks, you must learn to move with life instead of against it. The more adaptable you are, the less life can shake you. You begin to realize that growth is not about control but about alignment. Aligning your choices with your truth, your energy with your vision, and your heart with your purpose. Another key aspect of growth is letting go of fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of change itself. Fear is the mind's way of protecting you, but it often ends up imprisoning you. When you live in fear, you stop living fully. To grow, you must learn to act despite fear. The most powerful transformations often happen when you take one brave step forward while still uncertain of the outcome. Every time you do, your comfort zone expands and your confidence strengthens. Growth doesn't come from waiting for fear to disappear. It comes from realizing that courage and fear can exist together. In embracing change, you also learn to trust timing. Not everything will happen when you want it to. Some doors will close, some paths will end, and some people will leave, but all of it happens for a reason. Life's timing may not always make sense in the moment, but later you'll look back and see how every detour was part of your direction. Growth is not always visible in the moment. Sometimes it's happening quietly within you, preparing you for opportunities you can't yet see. The universe is never against you, it's simply guiding you toward alignment, even if the process feels uncertain or painful. You must also remember that personal growth is not a race, it's a lifelong journey. There will be seasons of expansion and seasons of rest. There will be moments of great progress and moments of quiet reflection. Growth is not about constantly striving for more, it's about becoming more conscious, more aware, more connected to who you truly are. Celebrate your evolution, no matter how small. Each step forward, each moment of awareness, is proof that you are evolving. Finally, embracing change and growth means trusting yourself, trusting that no matter what life brings, you have the strength, wisdom, and resilience to handle it. You are not the same person you were a year ago, a month ago, or even yesterday, and that is something to be proud of. Change means you are alive, growing, and becoming. So welcome the uncertainty, lean into the discomfort, and allow yourself to evolve without apology. Growth may not always be easy, but it is always worth it, because on the other side of every change lies a stronger, wiser, more authentic version of you, the version that life has been patiently waiting for you to become. CFTR 15 Consistency is the quiet force that separates the dreamers from the achievers, the talkers from the doers, and the wishers from the winners. It is not about doing something once and expecting miracles. It is about showing up every single day, even when motivation fades, even when progress seems invisible, and even when the world offers distractions and doubts. Commitment is the fuel that keeps the engine of consistency running. Without it, even the best intentions fade into excuses. The truth is, success is never built in a day. It is built daily. Every small action you take compounds over time, like drops of water carving through stone. It's not the intensity of your effort that matters most, but its persistence. Anyone can be motivated for a day, but only those who commit for weeks, months, and years create lasting transformation. Consistency is what turns discipline into habit, and habit into destiny. You may not see results immediately, but if you stay consistent, you are laying the foundation for a life that few have the patience to build. Commitment begins when the excitement ends. It is the decision to keep going after the thrill has faded, the courage to move forward when the outcome isn't guaranteed. When you commit to something for real, whether it's improving your health, building your mindset, mastering a skill, or transforming your life, you must remove the option to quit. Quitting cannot be on the table if you truly want change. The people who succeed are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who keep going through struggle. Every obstacle you face on the path of growth is a test of your commitment. Life will always challenge you to see how badly you truly want what you say you desire. When things get hard, most people look for reasons to stop, but the committed ones look for reasons to continue. Consistency is not glamorous. It's not about grand gestures or massive wins. It's about doing the small, sometimes boring, often unseen things that create big results over time. It's about reading a few pages every day, meditating for 10 minutes even when you don't feel like it, making that extra effort when no one is watching. Because when you stack enough of those small wins, they turn into transformation. Consistency also builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. Every time you follow through on a promise you make to yourself, you strengthen your self-belief. You start proving to yourself that your word matters, that you can rely on you. But every time you break a promise to yourself, you chip away at that trust. Self-confidence isn't built by positive affirmations alone. It's built by consistent action. Confidence is a byproduct of keeping your commitments, even when no one else would know if you quit. The greatest respect you can give yourself is to stay loyal to your goals, long after the mood you set them in has faded. Consistency transforms potential into power because repetition is the mother of mastery. No one becomes great overnight. Greatness is forged in the moments of repetition, in the quiet hours of doing the work that most people skip. Every master was once a beginner who refused to give up. However, consistency without clarity can lead to frustration. You must know what you're committing to and why you're doing it. The why is what sustains you when results take time to show. When you connect your daily actions to a bigger vision, even the smallest effort carries meaning. For example, waking up early isn't just about discipline, it's about owning your day before the world dictates it. Exercising isn't just about fitness, it's about energy, strength, and self-respect. Reading daily isn't just about knowledge, it's about feeding your mind and shaping your perspective. When you link your consistency to your purpose, every action becomes powerful. You begin to move with intention, and intention turns effort into evolution. The biggest enemy of consistency is perfectionism, the belief that you have to do everything perfectly or not at all. Perfectionism kills progress because it keeps you trapped in hesitation. The truth is, imperfect action done consistently will always beat perfect action done occasionally. You don't need to be the best. You just need to keep showing up. Missing one day doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're human. The key is to not let one bad day become a bad week, and one bad week become a bad habit. The power of consistency lies in returning after setbacks, after self-doubt, after distractions. It's about bouncing back faster every time life knocks you off course. Success isn't about never falling. It's about rising one more time than you fall. Commitment also requires patience, the willingness to stay the course even when results take time. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, patience has become rare, yet it's one of the most powerful virtues. Think of nature. A seed doesn't become a tree overnight. It takes seasons of nurturing, watering, and growth beneath the surface before anything blooms. The same is true for your dreams. Most of your growth will happen in the dark, in the unseen hours, in the quiet consistency of your efforts. When nothing seems to be changing on the outside, trust that transformation is happening within. Ultimately, consistency and commitment are not about working harder, they are about staying true longer. They are about aligning your actions with your vision until your habits carry you towards success naturally. When you commit to showing up every day, you shift from relying on motivation to relying on momentum. Motivation starts you, but consistency sustains you. Over time, the effort that once felt heavy becomes light, because you've built strength through repetition. The discipline that once felt forced becomes part of who you are, and when that happens, when your habits align with your goals and your commitment becomes your identity, success is no longer a matter of if, but when. So, as this journey of 15 days and beyond comes to a close, remember this truth: success is not born in bursts of effort, but in the quiet persistence of those who keep going. Be that person, the one who stays consistent, who keeps the promise, who shows up, who never quits, because that is the person who transforms not only their life but the world around them.